both a really juicy hot chocolate. Is anyone in the mood to bring one on board then? Yeah, I mean, you can go and take a look and change your mind and walk out. Is anyone to stop in?
What was it for?
Yeah, okay, you need a hot chocolate. So this is a really different type of hot chocolate from what you've maybe used to. Have you had an Italian hot chocolate before? No. Okay. Morning. How are you today?
How are you?
We're good. So we have a family who may be interested in the hot chocolate.
Oh,
but
really?
we're not sure if the second episode at the very end, they walk down here and in front of Brewers Lane, that sign right there, Coach Beard says bye, runs off, so maybe he lives around the corner because we don't actually know
Where he lives.
where he lives. Just shows up in the field, right? Yeah. And then Ted walks off, but Shannon, the only young woman who plays football, is holding a football right
here,
outside Daniele, where we just got a hot chocolate from, and they start dribbling the ball
Yeah.
out here. So we've got something from the world to
that's
show
awesome.
as well. Yeah, and it's just a really lovely scene, but filmed in way darker conditions to simulate evening.
Yeah.
They added more lights around, kept the lights on in the shop, you know, and it just paints this very beautiful, welcoming atmosphere.
Yes, it does. That's what it comes through the show, exactly like that.
Yeah, and that's what I love about Richmond. You know, you come here and it just feels like you're in the world of Ted Lasso. Even if things have changed here and there, you know, the atmosphere. Still hot. Yes, very recognisable from the show. Lots of things happen here. I can't list all of them because you may as well just rewatch it. Then one of the more famous ones is when Sam Obisanya is walking down this pathway, having met the Nigerian billionaire, Mr. Edwin Akufu.
Yeah.
So he's talking to his dad on the phone. You know, his dad. He says, "I think I've made my choice," and his dad says, "Whoa, let the universe send you a sign, right?" And then he hangs up. Shannon.
Playing, yeah.
And then Coach Beard says, "Whoa, she spun you about like a Tasmanian devil," right? So it's a very early on in the series, and it's also where in season 2 we see Ted and Dr. Sharon walking home.
Oh.
So she's carrying a bicycle.
Yeah.
And because they typically started filming in early spring, the trees wouldn't be in full bloom yet. So they walk from one end of the park to the other, and it's a bit more sparse in terms of greenery, but you can see the buildings at the back and all the people in the background. Right, and when I first started watching this series, there were just so many people on the green, like these extras. And I thought, oh, come on, this is so fake. No one in London has time to just chill on a weekday morning. But they do in Richmond. So those people in the show are not paid extras. They were real Richmond residents. And they would just be sitting on the lawn and on the green, and the production team would go, "Hey, we're filming here, do you mind?" They'd be like, "No, go ahead." And that's how they ended up in the show. Which makes it even more peculiar to me that they haven't seen the bloody show. Right? Because I would want to know, like, with a baby in it, and the baby's dressed like Coach Beard. Okay? So I know most people would not recognize or remember this scene, but I wanted to talk about it because the baby is dressed like Coach Beard. So it's clearly very intentional, and that's because the baby and the lady are Brendan Hunt's son and fiance. So Brendan Hunt plays Coach Beard.
Coach Beard, yeah.
Yeah, and his family appeared in the show because they were based in London when they were filming, and they dressing up to look like his daddy.
Yeah.
And they put glass. Next year, I think it's going to shoot back to being the top show on Apple TV. Yeah. Alright, so look at this row of houses right here. Third house from the left with a giant bench in the middle. This is meant to be Nate Shelley's family home. Okay? Yeah, Nate the Great then becomes manager of West Ham.
Yeah.
And this is where his family lives in the show.
Gotcha.
But the funny thing is, Nate is not from Richmond. He's from this town called Tooting. And to put it very simplistically, in the UK, and I think certain locations have certain permissions on what can be planted.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I can't, but I don't know the specifics. I just know singular units. So there's basically one house per family. And they have servants who probably go in from one door, the main family from the other. They have basements, but I'm sure they still have the biggest on this stretch. I would say this would be £4 to £5 million, even though it's stuck to another unit, technically.
Wow.
Yeah, and the rest of them are like 2.5 million or something. It's 3 to 4. So this is Rebecca's house.
Yeah.
In the show. Not in real life, although
No, yeah.
I wouldn't mind her just walking out today. Yeah, and it looks exactly like what we see in the show. So the door and knocker, literally the same. You know, her and Sam over Sam coming back from the date. Pembroke House, that sign on the pillar, literally the same. Tiles, columns, pebbles, everything's just like what
Yeah.
And that's how creative the locations team were. But I don't think they filmed in there, although we did see some filming for season 4 happening inside the house. So I think we're finally to see what it looks like. So her glorious kitchen, I don't know where it is. It's such a great kitchen. It's such a great kitchen. Did you know the story of how Hannah Waddingham knew she got the role before she left the audition room?
No.
Okay, shall I tell you?
Yes.
Okay, so she had to sing in the audition, which is such a big deal, or so easy for a woman like her to do, because she's so talented, right? And as she was leaving, she overheard the casting director turn to Jason Sudeikis and say, Shane, this Rebecca character doesn't sing in the show. And Jason pointed at Hannah Waddingham and said, well, she does now. And Hannah overheard that conversation and went, oh my God, I think they're going to give me the role. I'm going to sing in it. Now, even though Jason really wanted her to be Rebecca Welton, the higher-ups at Apple and Warner didn't want her to take on the role because she wasn't famous enough. I mean, I'd never heard of her.
Well, she was in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, shame.
Yes.
Shame. And I didn't know that, right?
Oh,
and and I'd seen her in multiple things, and she didn't have like the sort of popularity that perhaps, I don't know, like Idina Menzel or Meryl Streep or something, you know? So they wanted someone with a higher profile, and Jason Sudeikis said, no, that is my Rebecca. Yeah. So he went round the back door and got the director of those Game of Thrones episodes to vouch for Hannah Waddingham.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I didn't know the director's name. Yeah, so he sent an email to the higher-ups at Apple and Warner, and the title of the email was, why are we even discussing this? And it was all about how she deserves to be Rebecca Welton. So they took a chance on her, and I literally can't imagine anyone else being Rebecca Welton. She just made it her own. She's so good, and that's why the karaoke scene ends up in the show. Yeah. So she had to sing "Let It Go" from Disney's Frozen, right? Iconic song, and she didn't want to do it. She said, Jason, I've got a daughter, you know, every birthday party they play that fucking song. Like, I'm so done. I'm sure you can relate, right? She's like, oh my God, please, so corny, please, no. And Jason said, okay, but you know, I don't know, what other song is there to represent what Ted and Rebecca are going through in season 1? And she went, yeah, okay, fine, I'll sing it then. Makes sense, right? But Disney had not given them permission to use the song. They said, you know what? It's one of the best love songs in the universe right now. We can't have it butchered by a drunk, middle-aged woman in a karaoke bar. I know. So they filmed it without permission and sent the video back to Disney. And Disney looked at it and said, why didn't you just say it was Hannah Waddingham? You said drunk, middle-aged woman at a karaoke. I mean, obviously it sounds so shit, right? So they said yes in the end. Obviously money was exchanged, but it's so rare for a Disney song to appear in a non-Disney production. And Jason Sudeikis did it. I don't know how he did it. He's so good.
But that's what makes Ted Lasso good too.
Honestly.
The characters that they pick for those characters, like Brett Goldstein for Roy Kent. I mean, all the characters, they do such a good job.
You know the story how Brett Goldstein became Roy
That
Kent?
one I do know.
Okay.
Because he was one of the writers.
Yeah.
And when he was going over it, he thought that the script was actually him.
He thought,
this is me.
Roy Kent.
So he sent like an audition to everybody, right?
Yeah, to Jason and Brendan.
Yeah.
And I think the email said something like, if you don't like it, let's all pretend this video never existed.
Yeah, I did hear that, yeah.
And I think he's credited, as a writer, he's
he
also
is.
credited with finding Richmond. So,
really?
Yeah, because the creators are American, and they wanted to make sure it was as true to life as possible. So they said, can you find a town, because, you know, he's Brit, find a town that's not in central London, but close, that doesn't have a football team, but may possibly have a football team. So most people have no idea it exists until they come on this tour. It was built in the 1500s for Henry VII, because this king had too many clothes. So this was his wardrobe.
He had too many clothes?
Yeah, as one does when you're king of England, you know,
Really?
Great Britain, yeah. So
I wouldn't imagine that. I didn't think of that.
so this is apparently like where all the clothes were, you know, first line of defense, right? And then his descendants, Henry VIII, gave this palace to one of his 6 wives. So Henry VIII was known for having 6 wives. Really bad at it. Please don't scold me for it. So we are back in the Christmas episode. This is Roy's posh neighborhood. And do you remember what they do in Roy's posh neighborhood in the Christmas episode?
They go caroling, do they not?
Yes,
No?
Well, that's with Leslie, but
Oh.
Roy knocks on doors to find the dentist.
Oh, the dentist. That's
Because
right.
he has bad breath, and this is the first door we see.
Oh,
them
that they
knocking
knock on.
So they knock on the door. This little boy opens up and says, "Whoa, are you Roy Kent?" And Roy says, "No." "Are your parents dentists?" And he says,